In this lecture, we will look at what debugging is and the role that it plays in software development. Debugging is the process of finding and fixing errors in your code. While programming, you will inevitably run into an error at some point, and your code will either not run or not work the way that you intended it to. Sometimes these errors will be a simple fix, but sometimes the harder issues could take hours to identify. Debugging can sometimes seem intimidating and confusing, especially to junior developers who may not have the experience to have ran into and fixed all of the different types of errors. Why do programmers sometimes find debugging intimidating? Well, first off, errors can be hard to track down. It isn't always easy to pinpoint the exact line that caused an error, and this can be time-consuming and frustrating. You spend a lot of time working hard to create your program, and it is not working for an unknown reason. Trust me, I know the feeling. Finding the error is only half the beast. After tracking down the error, you need to find a solution to fix it. Fixing errors can be a quick change, but it can also be a long process if there is a large code base. I've found that if an error crops up in new code that affects a large part of the existing code base, one of the most challenging things can be to find a way to fix the error without breaking other parts of the code or straying away from best practices with a hacky solution. In other words, if you're developing an application that already has 1,000 lines of code, you need to make sure that your solution to the bug won't introduce another issue into the other 1,000 lines of code. You also need to make sure not to do a hacky solution that will work for now but compromise the integrity of the code in the future. Remember, any change that you make to the code, even a small one-line change, has the potential to create another bug. There are several benefits to becoming better at debugging for professionals and hobbyists alike. You will save yourself time and headaches. You will speed up your development time, meaning that you will be able to produce more content in a shorter amount of time. Also, you will create better quality games and applications. After running into errors and fixing them, you will become better at the practice of defensive coding, writing your code in such a way that it will be as airtight as possible and leave less room for issues. In the following lecture, we will look at the main types of errors.